There's something magical about revisiting the shows that shaped us. Whether it's nostalgia for the hand-drawn grit of early anime, or the emotional punch of a series that never quite got its due, older anime often carry a legacy that newer fans may never fully experience. Some series are remembered fondly by longtime viewers, their characters still popping up as profile icons or cosplay staples. Others, despite their potential, faded into obscurity or were cut short before they could leave a lasting mark. Today, I want to explore both types: anime that were beloved but could benefit from a modern retelling, and anime that never got the chance to finish their story. For each, we'll also look at a successful remake or reimagining that could serve as a reminder that redemption is always possible, and that sometimes a second chance is all a story needs to truly shine. Let's start with the flashy choice, Soul Eater. The show had plenty of style, high octane and sporadic energy, and a killer soundtrack to boot. It was part of that wave of anime that helped define the aesthetic of the time. The bold lines, the exaggerated expressions, and a gothic flair that made and still make it instantly recognizable. But despite its popularity, Soul Eater never quite stuck the landing. The anime diverged from the manga in its final arc, leaving fans with an ending that felt rushed and disconnected from the build-up. It's a common tale. A show starts strong, but production constraints or pacing issues lead to a finale that doesn't quite do the story justice. But there's precedent for redefining the end of a tale. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood did something similar to what Soul Eater needs, at least as far as the ending being changed specifically. The original Fullmetal Alchemist anime was well loved, but it also diverged from the manga and created its own original ending. Brotherhood came along and gave us a faithful adaptation that elevated an entire franchise to such an extent that it remains in constant contention for the greatest anime of all time. A topic I discuss more in a different video that I'll link if you want to check it out, but a remake of Soul Eater could potentially do the same thing. It could revisit the source material, tie up some potentially loose ends, and give the story the ending that many felt it so deserved. The next show I want to discuss is Toradora. This one's a bit different. It's not unfinished, and it didn't fumble the ending. In fact, Toradora is often praised as one of the foundational romance anime of its time. It helped popularize the tsundere archetype and gave us a relationship that felt deeply human. But here's the thing, Toradora came out in 2008, and while its plot elements still land, the animation and pacing feel a bit dated by today's standards. A reimagining wouldn't need to change the story, it would just need to refine it. The model I envision here is Fruits Basket. The original Fruits Basket anime was well loved also, but the remake brought the story to life in a way that allowed it to be seen by a brand new audience. And it gave this new audience a chance to connect by offering a version that aligned better with modern storytelling sensibilities. Toradora could benefit from the same treatment, allowing new fans to fall in love with Taiga and Ryuji all over again. But now let's go even further beyond and talk about one of the titans, Dragon Ball. Not Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball GT, not Dragon Ball Super, and not Dragon Ball Daima, just Dragon Ball. The original series that introduced us to Son Goku as a child, full of wonder and adventure, the iconic mischief, and plenty of that martial arts core. It's the foundation of one of the most iconic franchises in anime history, and yet many fans have never seen it. Many people started with Dragon Ball Z, skipping over the early adventures entirely, and while DBZ Kai gave us a streamlined version of Z, the original Dragon Ball still sits mostly untouched, waiting for its moment in the modern spotlight. Imagine a remake that gives Dragon Ball the same love and attention as the upcoming One Piece remaster aims to do. Yeah, I know, we haven't seen the full results of that project yet, but the buzz alone shows how much demand there is for polished, faithful retellings of classic stories. A Dragon Ball remake could do the same thing One Piece seeks to do by updating the visuals, tightening the plot, and reintroducing fans to that whimsical, adventurous tone that started one of the touchstone franchises in all of entertainment. But now let's shift gears and talk about newer anime that stumbled before they could finish their journey. The first of these is The Promised Neverland. Season 1 was a masterclass in suspense. It hooked viewers with its eerie tone, then it kept them engaged with clever twists, and it managed this by creating a cast of interesting and intelligent characters. The hype going into Season 2 was massive, and then it happened. The anime deviated from the manga, skipping entire arcs and rushing through plot points that deserved better. Fans were left disappointed, and the series lost much of its momentum and all of its goodwill. At times, controversial for its own reasons, Hunter x Hunter could serve as our blueprint for a redo. Not in the sense that the original Hunter x Hunter went off script necessarily, but in the sense that we got a faithful continuation. Like The Promised Neverland's opening season, the original Hunter x Hunter anime had its own charm, but the 2011 reboot elevated the series with modern visuals and an adaptation that dove a bit deeper. While it technically isn't the end of the Hunter x Hunter story either, since we still don't have one of those in the manga, we were at least given a satisfying conclusion to what the anime could cover. And like intended with all of these, it honored the original while giving the story the continuation it deserved. The Promised Neverland remake could do the same thing, keep the iconic beginning, and give a more cohesive ending at the same time. Finally, let's talk about a show that just stopped, like No Game No Life. The show had the style, it had the flair, and fans were very much invested in it, but it never got a second season. And for many viewers, that's a very fair deal breaker. Why start a journey you know will never end? And I'll be honest, I never finished No Game No Life myself. Not because I didn't enjoy it, but because I knew it was incomplete. And I'm not alone. A lot of anime fans hesitate to invest in a story that might never conclude. And the longer time goes on without a continuation, the longer anime fans have to forget about what No Game No Life once meant to the industry. But there is hope. ReZero took a long break between seasons, and when it came back, it was stronger than ever before. The fan base was still there, waiting for Peak to return, and No Game No Life could follow that path. Whether it's a continuation or a full reboot, the love for the series is still very much alive. It just needs a chance to finish what it started. So whether it's an old school classic that deserves a fresh coat of paint, or a newer series that never got the ending it deserved, remakes and reimaginings aren't just about visuals, they're about giving stories a second chance. A chance to evolve, and a chance to connect with audiences both old and new all over again. We don't remake anime because the originals were bad. We remake them because they mattered to us, and because they still have so much more to give to future generations of anime watchers. And let me know in the comments which anime you think deserve a second chance or a continuation. And if you're new here, check out my other essays and leave a like or a sub if you want more videos like this in the future. And with that said, I look forward to seeing you there, fellow anime lovers. Bye bye for now.